We live. We live. Woogity boogity. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? What's good? What is good? What's good? What's good? Gang, gang in the building. How y'all doing? How's gang? Got to talk about it. Got to talk about it. Black History Month. Highlight some things. We're gonna get into it. You know, we got to get into it. Um, but yeah, let's talk about it because, like, I hopped online. I don't know how old this is, but I did see people kind of losing their minds over this Lupita Nyong'o possibly possibly playing Helen of Troy, the chick that launched 1,000 ships, right? The lady that launched 1,000 ships. They screaming about history, 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 history. Screaming about woke casting. I hate that word because it's used so wrong. But that's what they're screaming about. But I need you to listen closely to what they're actually saying. I want you to understand what they're actually saying. Because see, the thing is, Helen of Troy isn't a historical figure like a Queen Elizabeth or maybe even a Cleopatra, right? She's not a historical figure. She's a myth. She's literally made up, fake. She's a symbol. And the character's only defining trait is that she was the most beautiful woman in that part of the world, in the known world, that known region at the time. So when people get mad and get angry that a black woman is playing her, what are they really saying? What are what are they really saying? They're saying that a black woman cannot hold that title. Is that what they're saying? That a black woman cannot be the most beautiful woman in the world? Is that what they're saying? So today, we gotta dismantle that argument piece by piece. Let's get it. What up? What up? What up? What up? What's cracking? What is goody? What is goody? Y'all know who I am, man. I am your homie, the OG Blue. This is Blues News presented by Blues House. What is good? As y'all coming in here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, push it, share it, tell your people, tell your people, tell your fam. Tell them all, man. Tell them we got something good over here at the house. Cooking up good over here, right? Cooking up good over here. Now, let's get into it though. Let's first let's kill this historical accuracy argument, right? Let's talk about the history versus the myth. Let's have a little reality check, just for instance, just for a quick little second. Let's talk about it. You know, the Iliad and the Odyssey are not documentaries. Not documentaries. Are there some things that possibly are true in the Iliad and the Odyssey? Yeah. Just recently, you know what I'm saying, that the city of Troy was discovered. But these are stories about gods, monsters, and magic. God with an S, monsters, and magic. Huh? right? Helen of Troy is the daughter of Zeus. The daughter of Zeus. I want y'all to hear that. Helen of Troy is the daughter of Zeus. Now, in the myth, in order to get Helen of Troy, Zeus transformed himself into a swan, y'all, into a damn bird, to an avian. He did that to conceive her. Let me repeat that. For those of y'all in the back, Zeus transformed himself into a swan, a bird. Helen of Troy's mother laid 2 eggs. 1, 2. One of those eggs hatched the beautiful Helen of Troy. What are we talking about here? So, if you can suspend your belief of shape shifting gods, one eyed cyclops, 10-year sieges, but you can't draw the line for a black woman to be the most beautiful woman in the world, something is just wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. That would not that's not even that's not loving history. That's just being biased, right? That's just being biased. How can you say, oh, history, history, history? And then if you know the history of these tales, you know that a damn swan conceived a woman. That is something that it really bothers me when I see stuff like this, because we have the discussion here a lot about race swaps and things of that nature, and a lot of people come to us and hit us with, oh, it's fiction, oh, it's just a book, it's just a comic book. And I get it. I get it. Right. The only reason why I'm on the opposite end of that, and we kind of teeter with that, because sometimes race swaps happen by happenstance, things of that nature. I get it. But it's about representation. About representation. That's one of the main reasons. It's just about representation when it comes to these race swaps. When it comes to a Marvel situation, because a lot of people gonna be like, "Well, damn, Blue, you didn't like Wonder Man being race swapped, but you cool with Helen of Troy being race swapped or whatever." The thing with Wonder Man is you have ample enough black characters to make a show about or to make a movie about, and you choose to not do that. So that representation is being wasted upon a white character, a traditionally white character. And like the homie Chill says, will revert back to that traditionally white character, right? That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. Now, that's cool. That's cool. But we're talking about ancient Greece. Lawrence in the building. What up, Lawrence? Q in the building. What's up, Golden Chicken Nugget? What up? We are talking about ancient Greeks like it was not a melting pot, right? Ancient Greece was a melting pot. But more importantly, this is mythology, y'all. This is mythology. This is mythology, man. And gods take many forms. Zeus turned into a swan. He turned into a bull. I want to say sometimes like Zeus turns into a lots of things. So we have people who shapeshift anyway. Zeus might have turned into. He could have been an Ethiopian walking around during those Greek times among the Spartans and stuff. You would never know. But we do know that in these stories, shape shifting, whether it's changing skin tone, changing into an animal, turning into a tree, it happens. These gods take many, many forms. So why does white have to be the default form for a demigod? Which is what Helen is, since her father is Zeus. Does that afford her also those special powers that Zeus has? Would demigod just be a special name for like mutant or enhanced being? Zeus turned into a damn swan, y'all. A damn swan. And y'all get mad up in arms about Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy. That's crazy to me. That is just wild to me, man. That's wild to me. So we have to talk about the definition of beauty, right? We have to talk about the definition of beauty because that's the real issue. Because Helen isn't just the character, she a plot device. Helen is a MacGuffin, right? She represents, matter of fact, Helen might be, is Helen like the first MacGuffin in storytelling now that I think about it? I'm gonna have to go back and do some research. Helen has to be one of the first MacGuffins used in storytelling. She represents the ultimate prize. The face that launched 1,000 ships. That was her. That was her. The peak of human desire. All the men want. And if you go read the story, you will see, if you read the story, you'll see all the men wanted. Every last one of them. She just ended up leaving Agamemnon and choosing Paris. After Paris died, other dude came in. Another guy came in to kill that dude and was gonna kill Helen, but saw Helen was so fine, he said, "Nah, you coming with me." That's what she was. The ultimate standard of beauty. Peak desire. With that being said, we know for centuries Europeans have painted her as white because that was their standard of beauty. That was their standard of beauty, and that's fine. It's a Greek story, right? Supposedly. Nobody necessarily really knows the origins, but we give it to that. It's a Greek story, Spartan story, Trojan story. But we in 2026. We in 2026. Lupita Nyong'o has been named one of the most beautiful people on earth in magazine, in beauty standard magazine. So it would only be fair in 2026 that she plays one of the most beautiful women on earth during those days. What would be so hard for her to do that? Why is that such a leap? Most beautiful, like by every magazine on earth. She's done that. Been in there. So why would it be such a stretch now? I mean, just look at her. She kind of is elegance personified. It's a beautiful woman right there. I don't think she would be ugly on any side of the sky. I think she's beautiful. I don't care what skin tone, what hue you are. That lady right there is gorgeous. That's a beautiful woman right there. So if Christopher Nolan's version of the story says this is the woman kings would die for, why would it be hard to believe that? Why would it be hard to believe? To say that she doesn't fit is to say that black features can't be the pinnacle of beauty and desire. And that's supposed to be the mindset that we are fighting, right? Like it's time to quit worrying about asking for permission when it comes to these things and start asserting it. Just start doing it. Y'all see us up here looking all good and moisturized and beautiful and shining and stuff. Y'all see us. Don't act like you don't. That's why if this is true, and this is just a rumor, she might not even be playing Helen of Troy. Because I also saw people get mad that what's your man Travis Scott is in the movie. Like black folks wasn't in Greece or something. Like Africa ain't right there across the med. Like what are we talking about? It's confusing to me. It's confusing to me, especially when we have these Hollywood double standards. Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? Gods of Egypt. Do y'all and Exodus? Gods and Kings. Do y'all remember this? Let's check the track record out. Do y'all remember Jared Butler, who played the Egyptian god in Gods of Egypt? Gerald Butler, who first came on the scene as Dracula. Gerald Butler. When that happened, what it was? Silence. Nobody said a damn thing when Gerald Butler was an Egyptian god. Silent. When Christian Bale played Moses, they had Batman out here playing Moses in Exodus, Gods and Kings. No outrage. Silence. When Elizabeth Taylor played Cleopatra, Oscars. You get rewarded for that. Hollywood been doing this race swap of mythological and historical figures for 100 years, hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. Matter of fact, let's get into the reason why I wanted to do this and talk about this in the first place. You know, we do the articles around this joint. Why it's a big deal, man. So it says Elon Musk says Christopher Nolan has lost his integrity. His integrity over casting black actress Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy in the Odyssey. It turns out Travis Scott won't be the most problematic casting in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Elon Musk has inserted himself into the discourse surrounding Nolan's next film, taking the X on Saturday to accuse the Oscar-winning filmmaker of losing his integrity over the apparent casting of Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy in The Odyssey. Musk's comments appears to be rooted in a disagreement over Nolan's prioritizing diversity over traditional or historical expectations. It's not that Nyong'o lacks the talent to pull off the role. Au contraire, she's incredibly talented, but rather that she would be playing a character traditionally understood to be a white woman. A white woman. Now, historically, she's been described as fair skinned, blonde, and famously invoked through the oft quoted phrase, the face that launched 1,000 ships. emphasizing her unmatched beauty as the catalyst for the Trojan War. Musk didn't elaborate further, but the implication was clear. Such casting, if true, would represent a betrayal of the source material. Of course, with an X account comprising more of 220 million followers, Musk's remarks have now kickstarted controversy surrounding Nwongo's rumored casting. That's right, Sega. Please smash that like on the way in, man. Please do that. Now it's worth noting that Nwongo playing Helen has never been confirmed. Like I said, that we don't even know if this is true or not, and remains for now a rumor, albeit one that has been circulating for many months. One theory suggests Nwongo could be playing both Helen of Troy and her sister, Clytemnestra, in the film. Regardless, until official announcement is made, the uproar remains rooted in speculation, though it is notable given that the roles of most other principal cast members are already known, and the actress who plays Helen has yet to be revealed. Musk does have a small connection to Christopher Nolan's brother, Jonathan Nolan, who in 2018 created a short promotional film using footage from SpaceX's Falcon. Blah, say blah. The two have also appeared together in public. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. So they mad about her, but didn't get upset about this. Didn't get upset about this. They mad about her, but Zeus was a damn swan when he impregnated Lita. And Lita had gave birth to two eggs, and Helen hatched from an egg. All of that get kicked out we just gonna disregard that. But a black woman being Helen, that's where we draw the line at. That's where we draw the line at. That's nuts. That is crazy to me, y'all. That's crazy to me. Zeus turned himself into a damn bird and skeeted up in Lita. Never mind. I don't even want to take it there, man. It's just crazy to me, man. So, you know what I'm saying? So when it goes the other way, it's erasing coach. Now we're erasing culture. Elon Musk draws and got out. We erasing culture now all of a sudden. Pull your skirt down, B. Get that thong out your ass, man. You got to stop that. Nolan ain't erasing Greek culture. I don't even know how. Do we even know if that's fully a Greek story? That area of the world, the Mediterranean area of the world, them stories aren't original. Them stories that been traveled, passed down. Could you know what I'm saying? Could have started in Africa and Egypt. Could have started in Western Africa. Trap like, come on, man. Cross the man, all of that was they was doing trade. That's a big trading area. Egypt, Greece, Spain, the Phoenicians down south, the Ethiopians. All of that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like all of it. We don't. The thing is, we don't know a lot of that stuff. Carthage. They tried to say my man Hannibal. Oh no, Hannibal was white. Hannibal of Carthage is white. Where the fuck is Carthage at, man? Show me on the map where Carthage is at. Show me what those people look like. Show me what it looked like. But like I said, this Ain't nobody erasing culture, man. He just adopting the universal myth about war, vanity, and power. And if this is true, he picked the best actors for the job. Ain't that what y'all want? Y'all want to get rid of, DEI got to go. Hey, we got to pick the best actors for the job. Merit only, right? Got to merit. Do it by merit. So when this person checks all the boxes, but just happens to be a skin hue that is different, it's an issue. It's a problem. It's a problem. Come on. Come on, man. We talking about people who we talking about the story where they built a giant horse, hid in it, and then went and sacked the town. Right? Come on, man. We talking about Achilles, who was blessed by the gods, dipped in the river Styx all the way up into his ankles by his mom, right? Great warrior that he was, who couldn't be taken out until something happened to, shot in the foot by an arrow, and that's what took him down. We talk about in the Odyssey, where Odysseus tries to go home but gets stuck out and chased by mermaids, uh, almost get eaten by a cyclops, um, uh, a big spider-like creature that comes out of the water and attacks him. So I can't even remember the name. Like we talking, this is the story that we're talking about. But y'all worried about Lupita Nyong'o being Helen of Troy. And if this is the Odyssey, she only gonna be in there for a quick second, because this is what happens after they sack Troy. This is what happens once Odysseus is trying to make it back home. So she only gonna be in there for a hot second, or should only be in there for a hot second. If y'all have read the Iliad and if y'all have read the Odyssey or studied it or whatever, y'all know that. Am I wrong here? Y'all let me know if I'm wrong, man. Y'all let me know. I'm still tripping. You know what? Let's read up on old Helen and how she got here, because I think a lot of people need to understand how she got here, right? How Helen got here. Because maybe people don't understand who Helen is. We just do it just real quick, real quick. Helen of Troy, Helen of Troy, or Helen of Sparta, right? She's a figure in Greek mythology, said to have been the most beautiful woman in the world. She was believed to have been the daughter of Zeus by Leda and Nemesis, and the sister of Clytemnestra, Castor, Pollux, Philano, Phoebe, and Timandra. She was first married to King Menelaus of Sparta, who became by her the father of Hermione, and according to others, Nicostratus. Also, the subsequent marriage to Paris of Troy was the most immediate cause of the Trojan War. Right? Let's say how she got here. Her birth. In the sources, including the Iliad and the Odyssey, Helen is the daughter of Zeus and Leda, wife of the Spartan king. We already said that. Play Helen, written blah blah blah. So this was written in the late. They say it might have been written in the late 5th century. It says the earliest source to report the most familiar account of Helen's birth. That although her putative father was Tyndareus, she was actually Zeus's daughter in the form of a swan. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. In the form of a swan, the king of gods was chased by an eagle. And so this is wild. So Zeus, who was a swan, was chased by an. Why didn't he just turn around and smack the eagle? I don't know. Chased by an eagle and sought refuge with Leda. The swan gained her affection, and the two mated. Now, why is this lady mating with a swan? Is what I want to know. That's some wild stuff, right? What's going on there? These this Greek stuff, this bestiality situation that be going on with these Greeks. Wow, it's a wild thing. The king of where am I at? Leda then produced an egg, y'all, from which Helen emerged. Now they say two eggs came from the union, one containing Castor and Pollux, and one with Helen and Clementia. Nevertheless, the same author earlier states that Helen, Castor, and Pollux were produced from a single egg. So three people came out of one egg. What up, Ty? Three people came out of one egg. Um, they also state that Leda had intercourse with both Zeus and Tyndareus the night she conceived Helen. So she just out here wild. She's sleeping with swans, right? She's sleeping with swans. Like, why is she doing that? That's nasty work. That is nasty work. So this is what we're dealing with. But Lupita Nyong'o can't play her. I don't even know if I want Lupita to play her now. I don't even know if I want that. No, this is nasty work. I don't know if I want that. Crazy, 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 man. But y'all let me know where y'all stand at. Y'all let me know where y'all stand at. Is Helen of Troy off limits because of tradition? Or do y'all agree that a demigod can look like anybody? Y'all let me know, man. Y'all drop y'all final thoughts in the comments. I want y'all to keep it respectful. We ain't, keep it respectful. Because we like to debate the facts here, only facts, not feelings. But don't forget we got J. Cole coming out too. I'm gonna get more into my hip hop bag, and I think J. Cole might be my big first review that I want to do for the year when it comes to music. So J. Cole will be dropping this Friday. But yeah, let's get into these comments, man. Or let's talk some other stuff. Let's see what y'all talking about up in here. Who all up in here? Lawrence says she's too talented. Q in the building. What up, Q? She's the damsel in she's the damsel in distress. Did you see the Last of Us recast? They cast an Afro Latino. Yeah, but oh man, they cast the Afro Latino for who? Who got recasted as an Afro Latino? That's crazy. Yeah, they about to be real mad. They about to be real mad. Who's that? Daniel Barris Sports Highlights. What up, man? What up? What up? What up? Happy Tuesday. What's good? Dan the man says, they hate to see us win. Keep letting them think Exodus was real. Right? Keep letting them think Exodus was real. This it here. Keep letting them think that. Look at that, man. That don't even look right. That don't even look right. Lawrence said the Egyptians were not white people. Sega was good. Sega said so. Apollo, the sun god, is supposed to be a pale skinned being. Let's keep it real, right? Right? The sun god Apollo, he's out here just pale skin like a mofo, but he's supposed to be the representation of the sun. Come on, man. Kevin made the ancient one a white. He did. Yes, he did. He came back and tried to apologize for it though, right? He came back and tried to apologize for it, but he did do that. They gave him they people got in his behind a little bit about that. And yeah, she is. You know what, Lawrence, you are absolutely right. Lupita is Oscar winner, not Oscar nominee, Oscar winner, Oscar winner. forgot about that. Not gonna lie, still ain't seen that movie to this day. No matter how epic the trailer was, I learned about our folks in Egypt a few years before that. Ain't no need to watch it. Ain't no need to watch that movie. None whatsoever, man. None whatsoever. Ain't say nothing about they didn't. They did not. Zendaya came on the scene. They just let it slide. They just let it slide. They just let it slide. Made up story. Yeah. What? How you say that? Lurally. So all of history could be something else. That's the thing about history, man. It's history, right? And to history, what I want to say, the people who win the year or win the decade or whatever, the normally they're the norm. They're normally the ones who get the right history, right? They're normally the ones who get the right history. So if the Greeks was doing it big during that time, and their stories were so flamboyant and so good, that's like I said, that whole center was a trading center. So it's multiple people, big melting pot of people coming through, sharing stories, this, that, and the third. And if the Greeks was in power during that time, then yeah, history could be totally something else. Look, the stuff that we read in these books, man, and these school books and stuff, take I, I want to say take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, American history, especially, just look at American history. American history, we only 250 years old. Coming up on the 250th birthday, I want to say, right, of America. 250. Look at American history and how wrong it is and whitewashed and you know, to the victor goes the spoils of history. And then when you start going back and digging and uncovering those layers, you're like, oh, that ain't what I was taught in school. Oh, I didn't know this. I didn't know that. And that's just only 250 years worth of history. Now start thinking about ancient Greece. We talking about before Jesus. We talking about during the time of Egyptians and you know what I'm saying, the ancient Egyptians and things of that nature. That's when these stories was around. 5 BC. That's what we talking about here. So imagine throughout the years what's been washed over, what's been cleaned up to fit the times. Just think about it. So Carthage was a big influence on Europe back then as well. Carthage, man, old Hannibal. Yep, he was African. Old Hannibal. Look at Laura. Laura Lee, where you from? Laura Lee said, "Are we sure Carthage was really where they said it was on the map?" I mean, it's still there from my understanding. I think they changed the name of it. I think they changed the name of it. Let's see. Mediterranean trade, arriving in Rome before its destruction in the Punic Wars, later rebuilt by the Romans as Africa's capital. It is now an extensive archaeological site and suburb of the Tunis, famous for its rich Phoenician, Roman, Vandal, and Byzantine history. So yes, I mean that's where it's at, man. Tunisia, that's where it's at. There you go. There you go. He said, I'm not with the DI stuff though. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we never really benefited from the DEI anyway. I just threw that in there. You know what I'm saying? We never really truly fully benefited from DEI. I'm not gonna say some things didn't fall our way, but for the most part, we got the bottom. We was the bottom rung on the DEI ladder, right? So I feel you on that. I'm just saying, since they say they want to get rid, that they're pushing DEI to the side, and we got to hire you off of merit. Wouldn't she fit every? Wouldn't she check every box? Would she not check every box? Marcus Aurelius, what up, man? That's a name. That's a fitting name. So a black woman could not make 1,000 ships come after her. They would say, "Oh wow, wow, Marcus. Okay, okay, that's crazy. That is crazy. I highly disagree. Highly disagree. Hey, Blue, people was tripping on my boy Howard the Duck on Marvel's What If. How was knocking him down, huh? How would be knocking him down though? How would love him some human. How would love him some human, y'all. Knocking him down. What up, JJ? Say the character of Manny played by Danny Ramirez will be recast due to scheduling conflicts. Jorge Lundenberg Jr. has been confirmed to take over the role. Okay. Okay. I did not know that. Did not know that. He was part of the group that helped kill I'm drawing a blank. Why am I drawing a blank? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay. So he being recast. Danny Ramirez is being recast. Okay. Recast by a Dominican. I don't Is he dark skinned? Like how dark is as a Dominican? How dark is it as a Dominican? I'm about to look him up. History is his story. You absolutely right. It's his story. It's who won. And yeah, Blue Dead Man can't tell the story. And that's just it. That's just how it goes. That's just how history works. No shame. You know what I'm saying? That's just how history works. It's up to us to go and do the research and see what's really going on. But that's just how history works. I don't fault the win. You know what I'm saying? I don't fault the winner for spewing shit to fit their narrative. I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't. Because you don't necessarily have to. But especially thousands of years back, you know what I'm saying? Imagine playing telephone for thousands of years. Y'all ever played that game, telephone? Imagine playing telephone for thousands of years. That story gonna be all screwed up, man. All screwed up. Shit, with this story we on it, Zeus might not. They might have the Zeus story wrong. They might have, could have been Zeus was an eagle who was chasing a swan, got frustrated he didn't catch the swan, and had to rest. Came across Lita and gave Lita some of that eagle. Let me stop. Man. Denise was part of the ancient Moorish Empire. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The one with the scar on his face. I know. Yeah, I know you talking about. I got it. I got it. Also, they just did a report and it showed fewer white men were getting opportunities now that it's gone. Look, the, it's a good idea. DI is not a bad idea. It's just the way it was implemented just didn't work uh, the way I think it should have worked. What it was, white woman was number one. Um, so it worked for them. I mean, but affirmative action is the same way. You know, like that ain't what we're here to talk about. So they chose to erase and modify history so that we never know what's good. Like I said, to the spoils, you know, to the victor goes the spoils of history. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. That they didn't realize it's more than with love. It is. That's just like welfare and things of that nature. Of course, they would benefit more. Of course, it's more, poor whites than poor blacks. That's just the makeup of this country, which is makes me look at them in a way like, why are y'all on that side of the fence when y'all are just as bad off as we are on this side? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So before I get out of here, I wanna throw this out here. I got the news that Iger is stepping down next month. Bob Iger stepping down. I forgot who the new CEO is gonna be. But then I started thinking about fight. Then I started thinking about old fight. I said, I wonder if the new guy gonna give Feige his walking papers. And then I saw an article today said Feige is safe. I said, damn it, why is Feige safe? Why is Feige safe? And I'm just teasing, man. I'm just messing. But nah, what I really want to get into is, yeah, with Bob stepping down, what do y'all think is gonna be? What's the big push for Disney? Because the guy who's taking over for Feige is the parks guy, so he's a big parks guy, right? He's a big parks, Disney World, Disneyland, things of that nature. I wonder what direction he's gonna take Disney Entertainment to. Is he gonna is more money just gonna be dedicated to the parks, or is he gonna look at the movie landscape or the entertainment landscape and want to put money there? How does this Disney is this big huge company? I want to know, how does it affect, hell, comic books? How does it affect toy sales? How does it affect uh, uh, Disney World, Disneyland? Are the ticket prices going to go up? Marvel, Star Wars, 20th Century Studios. How is he going to come in and affect and do all these things? Are we going to be seeing some firing? Are we going to be seeing some firings? Are we going to be seeing some hiring? Maybe a new division comes on. Do they combine Pixar and Disney Animation and just make it one studio? Like, it's a lot of things that I think could be happening coming up with Disney with this new um, CEO. New CEO means new things can happen. Hopefully, it's for the better. I would like to see Disney do better things than what we got in the past, because they've had been up and down. When they have a hit, it's a hit, right? When they have a hit, it's a hit. But when they have a miss, when they have a miss, it's either a foul or a strike, right? Oh man, that foul ball look, or that strike. So I'm curious as to see what's going on with this. But yeah, next month, old Bob Iger stepping down, moving to the side, because I know he wanted to do politics or something like that. So we will see. We will see. Lawrence said he's been with Disney for 27 years. Okay. I'm with that. 27 years. Kevin got a good 5 years left. I believe that too. I just The thing is, if Kevin stays, I just want him to do good. I just want to see this 180 turnaround happen. I just think the nigga been failing big time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see him make that switch over, get some good people around you. It's crazy. I swear they be listening to the channel. So I'm watching John Campion earlier today, and he was like, "Man, if Feige should go and get Josh Whedon just to come in and write a couple of things. Go get Josh Whedon, let him write some things, go about his business." And I was like, I've been saying that. Josh Whedon might be the person responsible for the Marvel that we got back. Go get Josh Whedon. Let him pin you something. Let him pin you uh because shit, Josh Whedon gave us the best iteration of Hulk that we got. And his first two Avengers films was pretty good. Age of Ultron was pretty good. I know he canceled Lawrence, but you can uncancel a person, man. I don't believe in that canceling stuff. I don't believe in that canceling stuff. But yeah, just as a ghostwriter, just bring him back, have him pen something for you on the low. If you want to use a pseudonym like Stephen King, maybe he can do that. But yeah, bring Josh Whedon back, man. I think why not? It could. I don't think it could hurt anything. Yeah, no, no, that ain't what I know. Essay and abuse with him. He has not been uh convicted, right? He has not been convicted. Um, allegations. I don't know if it's settled out of court. That didn't want to. The last thing. Let's look up. Let's see. Josh Whedon. Before I put my foot in my mouth. Let's just look up. I don't want to. I don't do that misinformation stuff. It's allegations. The undoing of the Buffy creator. Let's see what he got. Article. All right. Let's see what they got here. This person said, "What did he do so bad? These were these allegations ever proven? Because if not proven, he needs to be the director of the new Buffy series." Let's see. Affirmed by Sarah, Emma, Charisma, Michelle, and Amber. Is it proof beyond a reasonable doubt? Well, he's not accused of a legal crime, so I guess that's for you to decide. However, keep a few other things in mind. Josh didn't create Buffy or Angel alone in the vacuum beside the performers. They're just talking about that. They're not talking about what he actually did. As far as his accusations, sexual harassment and workplace abuse coming from female stars of his works. Firstly, though, some of the parts in the show also give a huge ick because of his view of himself as a feminist as well. So he was sexual harassment and workplace abuse. Okay. Like I said, I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth. I'd rather know what's going on. So okay. I mean, like I said, man, I'm with you. He ain't gotta be public facing. He ain't gotta be public facing. If don't go get Josh Whedon, get somebody like Josh. Somebody like Josh. Can we do that? Can we do that? Please. Feige. Lawrence say Josh is canceled. So don't go get Josh. Go get somebody Josh like who knows what's going on, who can write, who could do some dope things. Somebody who can tell the story of Zeus turning into a swan and impregnating Lita. Oh man, Zeus the swan is wild. Zeus the swan being chased by a golden eagle is wild. That's crazy. That is crazy. I forgot how dope. I forgot how dope Greek mythology is. Greek mythology is why is man. Greek mythology is wild. That's some funny stuff. All the mythologies is wild now that I really think about it. They all wild. Yeah, all the way back to Buffy. Josh wrote some more. He did. He wrote some X Men stories. No, Josh is the comic book read. He's a comic guy. He's a comic guy. Get some comic writers. Yeah, just get some comic writers and pay them. You know, pay them. It don't take much. I don't like what he did with DC. Jet Li right there. You don't like what Josh did with DC? Jim Lee, he be letting me down because he's the Kevin Feige of the DC Comics division. I want to say he's like the big guy over there. So, uh, his art is dope. The Batman run. I think it was him and Scott Capullo. That was dope. Scott Capullo, one of my favorite artists too. That was dope. That was dope. But when I don't know, when I think of Jim Lee, I'm like when Jim Lee ran from Image and went over to DC and then took Wildstorm with him, I didn't like that move. Sorry, I did not like that move because to me it's like you gave up on your babies. To me, right? To me, you gave up on your baby. You took Wildstorm, took it over to DC, and I ain't seen Wildstorm since. Sprinkled here and there. I ain't seen it since. I would love some Wildcats, some Grifter, some Brigade. We supposed to get the authority. What happened with that? No authority. The Damonites. Like you could have did. Well, you could do Wildstorm on your own. Wildcats could be a big brand. They had their own cartoon. They was like, they like the fake X Men and stuff. They could work. They to knock off bootleg X Men. I don't know why you run over to DC and what you thought DC was gonna do something for that. Crazy. Chris Claremont. I think Chris Claremont did help with some X Men stuff, if I remember. Some of that first class X Men stuff. If they stop charging stuff, they can use the comic to just adapt. They won't use the comic. That's the bad thing, though, Lauren. We bailing them out. Use the lore. Use the lore. It's easy work. That's because guns DC ain't happening. What do you mean it ain't happening? We only one in, Q. Don't come over here with that nonsense, Q. Don't come over here with that nonsense, man. He's wrote the X Men and Marvel comics. Yep, yep. But yeah, man. Light work today. I'm gonna get off of here and work on this Black History video for the week. The pillars of Black history when it comes to comics. I'm doing that. Be on the lookout. Like I said, Friday I might do something on J. Cole. I'm gonna try to start mixing it up for y'all, but I'm gonna keep everything going. You say his middle name is nonsense. He was not a robot nonsense. Jenkins. Whatever. What's your last name? Netflix on trial for WB, so we will see if they get it. That's what you're saying. What they on trial for? What did Netflix do to be on trial? Is this just like the committee to make sure that they can buy it? That's what you mean by trial? Like who is it? The SEC and the SEC, FCC. Who am I missing? Like with the whole antitrust and all of that, the trade commission. Is that who he on? Is it a trial or is it like a hearing? Oh, to approve the okay, so yeah, hearing to approve the purchase. I think they'll get it. I think they'll get it. I think they'll get it. As much as that might be a bad, it might end up being a bad thing because we don't have enough studios, in my opinion. Everything Disney owns it, Comcast owns it, or Warner Brothers owns it. So you don't have the options to do some of these boutique uh movies and things of that nature. So, you know, I don't know. But let's wrap this thing up, man. I appreciate y'all for coming in and joining with me, man. I'm trying to celebrate my birthday all the way up to Super Bowl. Super Bowl is Sunday. My birthday was last week, so I didn't get a chance to do nothing because of the weather, right? The weather was cold here. It snowed in Jacksonville. Got some snow flurries. So I didn't get the opportunity to really go out and hang out. So I think I'm gonna take the opportunity this weekend, go out, hang out, and celebrate myself turning 43, 43 solar rotations. You know, so yeah, man, y'all be on the lookout for that. Should I do a Super Bowl show? I might do a Super Bowl show. So long as they was in the front of the Senate and they struggled. Damn, that ain't good. That ain't good. Gun went from Gods and Monsters to just talk about Superman saga. Just saying. Leave Jimmy alone, man. Let Jimmy cook. Let Jimmy cook. Let Jimmy cook. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, man. Hit that notification bell on the way out. You know what it is. Y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to get the hell out of here. Y'all take it easy and be safe. And like that there, we are Audi 5,000. Yada.
This concludes today's broadcast from Blues News. We hope you enjoyed tonight's programming and the time we've shared together.
Right. Always be about being authentic. Drop like that drop to what it was March, so that we added to the slate on the strength of an exception.
So I think it's confidence. I think that
Blues News is dedicated to bringing you the very best in pop culture, music, and conversation, serving viewers everywhere, every day. On behalf of our staff and crew, we thank you for watching. We'll return tomorrow with more entertainment, insight, and fun for the whole house gang. Good night and good luck.